Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be my review of episode 4 of The Last of Us. So I got done watching episode 4 last night with all my friends in VR cinema once again. We do it every week and it's the best thing ever. Just to get all your friends together, go into a virtual cinema in VR called Big Screen Beta. Just to see all your friends, you can see each other's avatar and watch movies. You can stream whatever you like from your computer to the cinema screen in VR, and it's just an amazing experience. So we do this every week and we did it last night, and episode 4, I will say once again, was just a solid episode. I feel like the series needed this episode because we haven't really had enough time with Joel and Ellie just together, getting to spend time with each other, getting to know each other and getting to gel and bond finally, because Ellie's been a bit of a little brat. She's been a bit annoying up so far. As she is in the game at first, you know, she doesn't really want to be helped and rescued. She just wants to be left alone, but unfortunately she gets thrown into the situation with Joel, and Joel's, unfortunately for him, thrown in, well, they think it's unfortunate, but they're thrown into a situation where he has to just take her from A to B. He doesn't really want to do it. She doesn't really want to be there with him, but they don't really have a choice in this situation. Well, they do, but, you know, they take it upon themselves to just go along with it. And eventually that leads to them getting along with each other and bonding like they're starting to do now in episode 4. And, you know, we did need that because we haven't had enough time with them as the series really just been going in between. It's been following Joel and Ellie's story, but it's been taking, you know, little detours for different characters, especially in the last episode, in episode 3, with Bill and, not Ted again, I keep wanting to say Ted, Bill and Frank, which, if you didn't watch my last review on it, on that episode, I absolutely loved it. But yeah, back with this episode, it was needed to just see them develop their characters and develop their friendship together, and this episode did that very well, I thought. Once again, Bella Ramsey for me is just impressing me. I really do see her as Ellie. I really do enjoy her as Ellie. I'm so happy for her because she's just such a young actress. This is, I think, her first ever big role. I know she had Game of Thrones, but she was a young kid. It was only like a little small part. To be given a character like Ellie that's already well-loved, well-developed, well-written, and it's an important character to people who love playing games and who love the games, The Last of Us. So to be given a role like that is such a big responsibility to take on, and it could have gone completely the wrong way. Like, she could have just completely been the wrong choice. And for me, I personally find her to be an amazing choice. I think she's, besides her playing Ellie, I think her acting's brilliant. I'm trying to watch out for things like child actors. She's not even a child. She just looks like a child. She's actually 19 in real life, but she seems like a child. She looks like a child. She looks really, really young. So to see a young actress taking on such a big role like this, I am kind of sat there waiting for moments to go, oh, she didn't really act that well in that moment, or her accent just kind of didn't sound right there, because she's an English actress. She's an English actress, yeah. But I feel like she's nailing the accent. I really like her acting. I feel her emotions. She feels like Ellie to me, though. She really does feel like Ellie. Everyone just keeps going on about how she doesn't look like Ellie. Yeah, she doesn't look like Ellie, but Pedro Pascal doesn't exactly look like Joel. Joel's a white American, Pedro Pascal is like a Latino guy, so it doesn't matter to me as long as they're playing the role well, and both of them are big time, and I really, really do enjoy watching them both, especially in this episode, how they just bond and gel. I just can't wait to see how things develop even further with these two. This episode basically is just Joel and Ellie trying to go from Bill and Frank's house to find Tommy, but on their journey they come across this city, and they take a few wrong turns, and they end up in the wrong place at the wrong time, where they're basically jumped by a load of people that are pretending to be, well, one guy's pretending to be injured to try and see if Joel will try and help him, and then they're just gonna, you know, take over them, kill them, rob them, and just do whatever these bastards do in this world. And yeah, it's, you know, they're just suddenly in a situation where Joel realizes, look, these guys are they're not actually injured. They're gonna, well, he just doesn't trust them. And neither would I. I don't think I would trust anyone in this world. So Joel's ready to kill this guy and run over him. He puts the seatbelt on Ellie. He puts the seat, well, I think she puts on, you know what I mean. Goes straight ahead. I thought he was going to run into this guy and kill him, which he doesn't, but, like, you know, he would have done. Joel's pretty ruthless already in this, and I like that. But anyway, they crash into the shop, and then it turns out into this really cool shootout. It's not a big epic thing, it's just a little small shootout, but I liked it because it felt like the game almost. You know, in the game, you constantly have in these situations. They can't have a TV show where it's constantly like that. It just wouldn't be that interesting, would it? As a game, it works because you just want to be playing action. But in a show, it wouldn't work. But I do like these little moments. It makes me feel like, oh, this is like the game. And yeah, I thought it was a really, really cool scene. This scene turns really, really dark all of a sudden. And I really liked the writing, and I really liked how they written the actor who played the guy that Ellie shot. Because when he's down and he realizes that he's going to get killed and he's in pain and he's paralyzed from the waist down, the way that he's acting, like shouting out for his mum, and he's like saying, no, we can be friends, and he's just really, really desperate. He's so desperate to survive. And I felt like that was really, really well written. A lot of stuff doesn't do that. A lot of things in shows or movies doesn't really let you feel the pain and the fear and the worry of the person who's about to die. Sometimes they do it alright, sometimes they do it better than others, but most of the time you don't really get this much sort of desperation from a person who's about to die. And it just reminded me of The Last of Us 2, when you kill someone and, you know, you can really feel like they're actually injured, or their friend will notice that their friend's died and they'll call out the name, and it's like you feel the sadness for that person. Even though like the enemy, you can kind of go, oh God, that's horrible for them. All the friends, and I don't know, just this moment reminded me of the way the NPCs would act in Last of Us 2, and yeah, it was just horrible, because the guy's young, and you know he's just fighting for what he believes is right. Yeah, they're bad people because they're just gonna kill random people in a car and probably just kill them, rob them, and do whatever. You never know what they'll do, but it's not going to be nice. So, you know, fuck him. But at the same time, he's a young lad, and he's realized he's fucked up. He's in a really dark situation, and he wants to survive. And then Joel just is like, Ellie, get behind that wall now. Pulls out the knife. And I was like, oh shit, I like it, but is this going to get like, are we going to see it? We don't get to see it, and you didn't need to. But yeah, just hearing it behind the wall was like, Jesus Christ, Joel, what are you doing? I really liked Bella Ramsey's acting in this scene as well. I feel like she delivered it really, really well. She looked scared, she looked frightened, she looked like she didn't know what to do. Just like when she shot the guy, just a sort of like shock and a little bit sort of like taken back by it all. And even that how Joel was going to murder this guy. You could tell that Ellie was struggling to sort of like come to terms with that and accept it, but she had no choice. And I really thought Bella Ramsey she just nailed it in that scene. We then got a new character called Kathleen, I think. I think she's called Kathleen. I couldn't remember because I haven't played the game. Well, I haven't played the full first game since it first came out. I have played the remake, but I don't think I'm up to like where we are right now in the remake. I just never completed it. So now I'm a little bit hazy with what's from the game and what's not, but I'm pretty sure Kathleen isn't a real character from the game. Now, when we first got introduced to Kathleen and she's interrogating that guy, there was a really dark, like, reality of that, because as I remember, or as I'm aware, I did ask my friend if I was right in thinking this, but he didn't seem to fully understand as well. We were having a bit of a laugh in this VR cinema, so we were missing little bits of dialogue here and there, but I'm sure that the guy that this Kathleen is interrogating and she's got the gun against is a doctor, and he delivered her as a baby, and now she's stood there about to kill him. It was an interesting sort of like flip into life. He delivered her and she's about to kill him. It was like, whoa, that's a bit of a crazy scenario to be in. And yeah, I kind of liked her in this moment. When I realized that she's like the leader of these people, and she's sort of like she's taking authority and she's telling people what to do, and you know, people are listening to her. I just didn't buy her in particular as that role. And I don't know, I would have liked, she felt like someone's mum rather than some really hard woman who will just kill someone like she does with the doctor. She just goes in and shoots his head off. And I did like that. It does make her feel a lot more like threatening and intimidating, but the woman, I'm not saying she's a bad actress, but I just don't feel like she looks the part for that role. She just looks like someone's nice mum. I would have preferred it if they got someone who looks a little bit more rough, like how Tess looked. How Tess looked in the first 2 episodes, where she's like rough, she's beaten, she's got a bit of a, you know, more of a hard, stern face, I would say, than this woman. I would have preferred a choice like her to be like this really ruthless, hard leader of all these people. Like, there's moments where she's even like with the guys who are completely suited up in armored vests and all these guns and everything, and they're like taking orders from her. I don't know, I just didn't buy it that much. But we didn't get enough time with her. There's not much of a story yet with her, so I'm interested to see more. But I'm pretty sure she's an original character, so yeah, I just need to see more of her. But yeah, it's the only thing really in this episode that I was a little bit like, I'm not really buying her too much. There is a really interesting part in this episode with her, though, when they go into that room and there's that, like, the ground sort of broken and it's sort of breathing up and you can hear some sort of monster in there. I can't figure out what that is, because I know we have, like, the bloaters and certain creatures in this that are like bigger monsters. I'm guessing it's the bloater, because in the trailer we do see him sort of crawl out and sort of come out the ground, so I imagine it's him. But like, I never remember them being that big. It feels like it's going to be huge. The fact that it can sort of, it's almost like breathing and the ground sort of coming up. So I'm really interested in seeing that. I'm saying now it's going to be the bloater, but yeah, I don't remember them being so big, but maybe they're going to make them massive in this, which I'm down for as well. Kathleen is talking about Henry and that Henry is doing this, and they bring this dead kid's body to her. She blames Henry, and then she sets out all of her factions to go and hunt down Henry. They all start going into all these rooms and bursting through all of the apartments and buildings, just trying to gather around everybody, trying to, I guess, hunt down Henry. And Joel and Ellie are hidden away in this little store. And this is a really, really lovely moment, because Joel realizes that Ellie's obviously killed this guy, and he feels so bad because he knows what it's like to kill the first person, and obviously it must be horrendous that Joel really doesn't want Ellie to do it, because he just doesn't want that to be in her psyche and to haunt her life like it probably has with Joel. So he really doesn't want her to feel that way, but unfortunately now she's already experienced it, and Joel just has this really nice moment where he really wants to just say sorry. I'm sorry that you had to go through that and feel like that. But Ellie then turns around and says, well, it isn't my first. And again, I don't know if that's a thing in the game. I can't remember, but Ellie's a badass. Ellie is ruthless, and whether that's in the game or not, I did like the fact that that isn't her first time, and she's done it before. I guess the way she acted with that clicker in the last episode, and she's cutting its head open and stabs it, she was so confident to do that, so it kind of makes sense. But I really like this moment between them two. And then Joel's just like, right, fuck it then. Here's the gun. Do you know how to use it? And teaches how to use a gun. And yeah, I just thought it was a well written, well acted, really nice moment between them both. Then the episode comes to an end with Joel and Ellie in this place, this building, where they manage to find a spot where they can lie down. Joel starts to smash the glass and use it to sort of, you know, if anyone enters the room, they're going to stand on the glass, he's going to wake up. And they go to sleep, but they tell a few jokes to each other before, and they have a bit of a giggle, and it's a nice little bonding moment. I really, really did like it. Ellie was just more enjoyable and likable in this episode, and she's going to get more and more likable throughout the series, because that's what it's like in the game. Joel and Ellie, I just love the start of their relationship. There's so much to come. I can't wait. And what an amazing end to this episode when we finally get to bump into Sam and Henry. I completely forgot. I didn't forget. I mean, as soon as I seen them, I was like, yeah, fuck, I forgot about them too. But that's what I liked, is that I wasn't expecting it, and then it happened, and my memory isn't so fresh anymore of the first game. So, but as soon as I seen them, I knew exactly who they were, and I just made me excited for this next part and everything that happens. If they follow what happens in the game, it's going to be a really, really interesting episode or two. And yeah, just a really good way to end this episode off. I absolutely love this episode. Once again, a really, really solid episode. It's probably not the best one. I would say it's so hard to say, but I enjoyed it probably just as much as I did with the second episode, but maybe not as much. So for me, if I was to give this episode a rating, I would give it an 8 out of 10. So that's it, guys. That's my review. If you enjoyed this, please drop me a like. Let me know down in the comments, did you enjoy this episode? Are you enjoying the series so far? I would love to know your thoughts down below. Also, if you are new here, then hit the subscribe button if you want to stay updated with my videos. But once again, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all on the next one.